Hi, Alpaca. Hello. Hey, man. What's going on? All right. Let's see.
Okay, we all go together or we go one at a time.
Here it is, here it is. Truck to refrigerators to dumpster, 360 spin onto the pals,
Holy
backflip
shit.
gainer into the trash can.
Yeah,
Hey, Gary.
yeah.
Parkour, parkour!
Parkour!
What's up, guys? How are you? I'm good. I've been sneezing a lot, you know, a little bit of allergies, but, I'm all right. I'm good. How about you? How are you, Alpaca? What's up, man? What are you up to? I was going to practice a new controller that Trino spot me. Whoops. I don't want to be playing Geef right now. I was just practicing. I was just practicing my 360s. Gonna play Elena. I thought bottom left was a face cam for a second. No, it's not on today. No. I'm just sitting here in my baggy old work shirt. And yeah, my plan was just to kind of chill out, chat with anybody who wants to hang out, and watch videos, watch cool videos. And I was gonna start with Street Fighter, but I got a lot of things that I want to do over the next couple of days between World of Warcraft and Diablo and stuff. And yeah, but also Street Fighter, because Street Fighter has I've just been having so much fun playing Street Fighter recently, and Street Fighter has a lot of cool stuff coming out in the next month. And then also there is the biggest fighting game tournament that exists, Evolution, is going to be happening within the next month. And then one more last thing is that there's a bunch of new fighting games. Can you play Chun-Li? Is she hot? Dude, I'll show you Chun-Li. Yeah, she looks pretty good. Let me turn off this video until I need to watch this. Recovering? What are you recovering from? All right, let's see. So I'll show you some characters if you want. So you're looking for hot characters, huh? Okay. So this is Chun-Li. This is the Chun-Li. I don't have her costumes and stuff, but this is what she looks like. Her other costume, man, I don't even know. Like, I guess, yeah, I'd have to unlock it. But this is Chun-Li. Chun-Li thighs. She do got them thighs, then. She does the Chun-Li kicks. Chun-Li's pretty cool. I don't really play Chun-Li too much because she's like a charge character. And I typically don't play charge characters, you know? She got the lightning kicks thing. Yeah, let's see. What else? This is one of her supers. Okay. Here's this one. Is this level 3? This is level 3. Yeah, she's pretty cool. But I'll tell you what. That is not where the game stops, okay? This is probably the most sexualized character in the game, I would say, is probably Mai. She's not even from Street Fighter, to be honest. But there's also some other cool ones. There's some cute ones. You got Cammy. Cammy's pretty cool. I like how this game, her thighs actually look like they have power behind them. Yeah, so this is Mai. She is from, I think it's King of Fighters or something. I used to play this character. And then there's Cammy. Cammy's pretty cool. Cammy's got some cool stuff. Let's see. How do I... I will actually want to try like some dive kicks. Oh man, yeah. Hitbox is gonna be hard to do. Oh man. Yeah, so I just got a new controller that I'm practicing. And you know, the character that I have been playing the most recently is Elena. So my plan was just to practice Elena, and you know, playing on a new controller is really tough. It's super hard. It's like, especially if you spend all of your time playing. Oh no, we got an ad. Sorry guys, I'll wait out the ad. Sorry for the ad. Elena looks cursed. What do you mean cursed? She's cool. She's like super positive, like happy. Her limbs are freakishly long. Dude, she's like a dance fighter, dude. She does like lots of like she almost all of her moves are kicks. And if you know, shit, yeah. I was going to say, if you know who Eddie Gordo from Tekken is, then she has like a very similar style. I forget what the name of that dance fighting is called. She is huge. She's fun though. She's got a cool personality too. I think she's cute. Yeah, she's the newest character in the game right now. And what I've been doing is I've been playing like the newest characters that come out and just trying to learn them, you know. And it's been pretty fun. The last two characters to come out have been Elena and Mai. And the next one is going to be Sagat. Sagat is this crazy looking guy, dude. Sagat. He is I don't even know. Yeah, I'll pull up a little trailer. Won't play it without sound or whatever. This isn't what I want. That's weird. Funny how it won't move the sound. Yeah, so this is Sagat, dude. He looks crazy. He's like massive dude. He's got like he's got an eye patch. If you know anything about Street Fighter, he's like one of the classic characters, Dan. One of the classic characters. By the way, I would love to play something with you if you would want to. Oh shit, what would we play? I mean, I was kind of looking forward to just doing a little chill Street Fighter stream here, but I could be up for something. I could be up for maybe some League or some Night Rain or something like that. That could be fun. What did you have in mind? You want to hop on and play Street Fighter? You say, fuck no. This game is dog shit. All right, then you could play WoW with me tomorrow. Or Diablo. No, I don't think I'm going to do that. Boom, 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 boom. All right, let's see. Boom, boom, boom. So this is one of the combos I have to practice. It's kind of a difficult combo executionally, because you got to hit this standing light kick into DP, which notoriously has been too much for me. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, it's a full price game. It's a full price game. I mean, I don't know how they price it actually. What is it? How much was it? Because when I bought it, it was 60 bucks. Pretty sure. But now I'm pretty sure it probably comes with like all the characters and stuff. Did you see that climbing game that we played on Saturday? Peak. I watched probably like I would say like 30 minutes of it before I went and did my like morning shit. It looked pretty funny. It looked like it would be pretty funny. I didn't get a key for 30, but still. Yeah, if you don't like fighting games, then of course you shouldn't play it. I personally really like fighting games, so, you know, I'm going to play it. And my friend actually just bought me a controller. So he bought me, let me find a picture of it. He bought me. Gifters. I don't know if this is going to be easy to see or not, but I'll pull this up over here. He bought me this controller right here. So I'm playing on this, and it's really different than what I'm used to. I mean, it's like basically instead of a joystick, it has buttons, and all your buttons are movement buttons, and it's like trying to rewire my brain to use this thing is difficult. It's difficult. Let's see. Yeah, so tell me about that Peak game. Is it kind of like what's that one game that me, Gary, and Drastin played? Fuck. Me, Gary, Peak, and Drastin, and then it's like chained together. Is it kind of like that where you just like climb like a platformer and you just climb up stuff? Because that game was so funny, dude. Did you ever play that? Did you ever play Chained Together? Oh, dude, that would be so funny to watch Crocky and you play that, actually. Or fuck, I could get in on that too. Me, you, and Crocky play Chained Together would be so fucking funny, actually. Yo, we should do that. Oh my god, that would be really funny, and that's a really cheap fucking game too. I got a lot to learn on this thing. Let's see. Is my stream still working? I've been having problems with it cutting out recently. All right, there we go. Make sure it's playing. All right, so what do we want to practice here? We practice some super inputs. We could try to do like the combo trials maybe. Yeah, let's practice rolling. Okay, roll, 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 roll. Practice DP. I don't have a lot of dexterity in my ring finger on the left side. Peak is like with in-game comms and repo, but you can come up a mountain and you need food to keep stamina and stuff up. I tried that one anime fighting game. What's it called? Guilty Gear. So if you're talking about Guilty Gear Strive, I love Guilty Gear Strive. That was kind of the game that got my friend group to start to play fighting games. So I picked up Strive a while ago, like pretty much when it first came out, Guilty Gear Strive, and I fucking love that game. It's so fun. And I played mostly like Ram Lethal and like Biken when she came out, and I played a couple other characters too in between. And I think that game looks so great. It plays so fun, and it's really fun. The only problem I have with that game is the ranked mode and the matchmaking is not very fun. Like Street Fighter has a much better like matchmaking system. And you know, in Strive, that basically the only way to like play people is like you have to join like a room and you have to like walk up to them and challenge them and stuff. And that wasn't very fun. But like you know, and the ranked system wasn't very fun. I did get the Celestial on both of my characters though. I got the Celestial on Ram Lethal and I got the Celestial on Biken, which is like the highest rank. Doesn't mean that I was like significantly good at the game or anything, but I was pretty good. I was like proud of that. That's a good like that's a good accomplishment. And right now I'm master rank in this game, which is like top 15% of players kind of thing. I don't know what that would equate to in League, honestly. Probably like diamond something. I played Guilty Gear Strive, but yeah, I hated it. I just don't like that genre, I guess. So tell me why you disliked it. Was it that you were losing? Was it that it was complicated? Like, okay, because if you take it at face value, it's like, oh, you have two characters on the screen and you're fighting each other. And every character has all these different special moves they can do and stuff like that. Like, is it just that it's like a competitive game and it's like you'll just like have to play against people that probably have like a massive experience gap on you? Because that's kind of like League, really. But tell me one thing, Alpaca, will you at least try the League fighting game with me, man? Because we can play co-op. We can play co-op. We can play together. We can play on the same team. It's a tag fighter, and you can play with your friends. And that sounds so sick. I'm excited for that, man. All right. Let's practice some combos. Okay. 1, 2. So we're going to try to get this really consistent on every side. I think it's unreasonably complicated. I think the fact that you need button combos for special moves is incredibly antiquated. I know it's part of the genre, but I think it's really unfun and horrible for beginners. All right, well, then here you go. I have the perfect solution for you, okay? So this game has a mode that is completely relevant. All right? Now hear me out. Hear me out. I'm going to give you like a little 2-minute speech here. So there's 2 different control schemes for every single character in the game. There's classic and there's modern. And modern, the way that it works is it's completely designed for new players, but also very usable in a tournament level. There are people who play in the best tournaments in the world who make it to top 20, top 10 playing modern. And what it is it gives you 1-button special moves. So you don't have to do any of those you have to 1-button specials, 1-button supers, auto combos, stuff like that. It's like people praise this system as being the best like newcomer friendly thing that's ever existed in the game ever, or in any fighting game ever. Like you know, whenever Dragon Ball Fighters came out, it came out with like this auto combo system, but like this has, I don't even know, I've never played modern before because I honestly like okay, so I'm pressing 1 button. I guess this is my special button. Let's see. What is this? Drive, parry. Okay. So I can do 1-button specials. So if I hold back, okay, if I hold down, if I hold forward, if I hold what's it, up maybe? And then there's auto combos. Okay, so this is auto combo. Oh shit. So if I hold this auto button and I just press jab, it just does combos for me. Okay. That's fucking crazy. Wow. What the fuck? And it goes straight into level 3? That's crazy. Or level 2? No way, that even works, dude. What the fuck? Yo, auto combo. That's fucking sick, dude. Let's see what this does. Okay. Dude. But the cool thing about this control scheme is that it actually works. You can do all the regular inputs that you want, but then it also has like these auto combos and shit. And that's like crazy, man. That's actually crazy. This is so interesting. I've never actually played Modern before, but it basically solves that exact problem that you're talking about. It makes it much more simple. But I will say, you know, that like one of the things that is fun about fighting games for the people who like fighting games is the executional barrier. It's like learning. Okay, think about it like this, right? I'm not sure if you can still hear me, if you're still there or whatever. But think about sitting down at a piano and it has the thing that just lets you hold a button and it plays a song for you. Or, you know, the middle ground there is like it lights up the buttons and then like, okay, you have to press the buttons. How satisfying is that compared to learning how to read music and learning songs and mastering like playing an instrument? You know, like, yes, they're inaccessible, but the satisfaction that you gain from mastering something like that and like learning the executional, you know, barriers and overcoming them, like, is a much more satisfying process than just, you know, pressing the button and pressing the ones that light up. You know what I mean? It's like, it's also like the difference between like using the one button rotation in World of Warcraft versus like actually knowing which buttons to press and like executing it correctly. And you saying it's not fun for you, maybe. And maybe that's because you haven't, you know, gotten to that point. I don't think that it wouldn't be possible for it to be fun for you. I think it could be. But if it's not fun for you and you don't want to put the time and the effort into it, that's fine. That's why like Modern exists. But the fact is that like, you know, it is fun for a lot of people. And the reason it exists and the reason that things like that exist is because they're fun, you know? So I think a blanket statement of saying it's not fun isn't fair. But maybe it's not fun for you, and that's fair. That's valid. People say League is hard for beginners, but when I press Q, I know Q is going to happen. Yeah, so, you know, I think the thing about League that is really difficult is not only is it is difficult mechanically for but it's not difficult to understand like conceptually. You press Q and Q happens. But here's the thing. You press Q and then it's interacting with your E or your R or your passive, and it's interacting with the items, and it's interacting with how leveled up it is, or if you're in your R state or something like that. Like, it's not just Q. And that's where it's like, yeah, you're pressing Q, but like I think what would be the best term here to describe this is like, I feel like League is just as difficult in a lot of ways as like learning a fighting game because of the knowledge gap that there is between a new player and a player who's played for years. Like, there is way more than meets the eye than just pressing Q. Like, if you were to take a grandmother and sit her down at a League of Legends controller computer or whatever and tell her, okay, this is Teemo, all right, and your Q blinds people, you know, like, how quickly is she going to pick that up? Like, it's still going to be difficult, you know, it's still going to be difficult for her to like interact with her character. And like, you tell her, okay, your Q blinds people, your W makes you run faster, your E, I forget what Teemo's E even does, your R is a mushroom, you know what I mean? Like it's not like, and then like you have to tell her like, okay, then you need to build ability power items and, you know, like attack speed items, because he's got a passive that, you know, every time you hit people, it does a poison damage. It's not like, I think League is just as complicated, really, in a lot of ways. I think mechanically it can be even more complicated once you get into like the later stages of the game. And the same is true for this game. Like if I wanted to play against somebody who was inexperienced, we would just be jumping at each other and we would just be pressing buttons. You know, just gonna run up to them, I'm gonna press my punch and my kick button. You know, and if I know how to do a special, wow, that's cool. If I, oh my God, you know how to do the special, that's crazy. But then you fight a player who's insane and they're leaving no room to be attacked. They're leaving, you know, you can never jump in on them. You can never hit them. And they're just like constantly mixing you up, and their offense is really aggressive. And, you know, like you just don't have any, you just feel like, what the heck? I'm trying to block and I can't even block. And like the same is true for League. I think League is actually a really good comparison to fighting games because there is a massive amount of like, if you really think about it, it's really close. Like this game has 6 buttons, right? There's a light punch, a medium punch, a heavy punch, a light kick, a medium kick, and a heavy kick. And whatever different combinations of those buttons, like that's 6 buttons, you know? Technically, what do you have? 4 in League, but then you also have items and stuff like that. I don't know. I think honestly League is a really good comparison to a fighting game in terms of like the amount of knowledge gap and executional barrier that there is, and also like playing against people who are new versus playing against people who are good. There's a lot of similarities there. But whatever, regardless, I'm not trying to invalidate the fact that you don't like the game. That's totally fine. But I do think that your criticism of the game is unfair. That's in terms of like comparing it to League and saying that League is a lot simpler and more intuitive. I don't think so. And in fact, Street Fighter has probably done the best job out of any fighting game to basically get rid of that barrier, you know? I think we're kind of in a fighting game renaissance right now. Like there's going to be within the next year or two, probably 4 or 5 fighting games that come out that are like going to kind of bring a lot of people to the scene. Like Marvel Tokon and what's the other one? The League of Legends fighting game, 2XKO. I see Khan on, dude. Should I play some Khan? Should I play against Khan? Let's see. Let me message Khan. So bad at this. Friends. I said specifically using moves that you want to use. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Instead of, well, yeah. But, you know, that's kind of what I was getting at is like Street Fighter has that option with the modern control system. Is you can basically mimic exactly what you're talking about. Sure, but I need a minute. Okay. All right, we're going to play versus Khan. This is my buddy Khan. All right, so let's go make a room. Yeah, if you can't tell, really like fighting games. I'd have to try the modern controls, but yeah, not for that price point. Yeah, that's fair, dude. That's fair. It's hard to justify spending money on an experience that you don't even know if you're gonna like or not, and generally you haven't enjoyed in the past. So that is super fair. One of my favorite things about fighting games, though, is that it has a really fun, like, let me turn this off. it has a fun competitive scene. Like the tournament scene and like the watching the pros and all the drama behind all that is just really fun to like get involved in. Kind of similar to LCS. I don't know how much you like watching LCS and stuff, but I kind of like watching LCS. And Street Fighter has really like developed its like competitive esports scene over the last like 20 years or whatever. And it's just like, it's so crazy. In my opinion, low-key fighting games are really overpriced. Like, how can Street Fighter 6 be the same price as Elden Ring? Or any, like, non-campaign type games? Well, there is a campaign in this game. There's a whole-ass single-player mode. There's actually a fuck ton of content in this game. And you say it's $30? So, $30 is a steal for this game. It's going to be relevant probably for the next like 10 years probably as like the prime, you know, fighting game Street Fighter. There's this mode called World Tour, which is basically a campaign mode where it has a whole story. You go through, you meet all the characters, and you can like play as your own custom avatar guy basically. And you play like through a story, you know, like, I mean, honestly, it's not something I'm super interested in, but you can make your own character and you go through, there's chapters, there's, you know, like you go through and it's like, it teaches you how to play the game and stuff like that. And there's a ton of collectibles where you can get like all sorts of stuff for your avatar. And then you can take that avatar and you can go into like a battle hub, right? Where you go in and you can like fight other player. 10 years, no shot. No, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. That's the way these games work. So you can go in and you can see like everyone has like all their crazy different costumes and stuff, right? Like you get like different stuff. And there's actually like even an arcade where you can play like all of the old like Capcom games. You can come over here and it has, so, you know, it's almost like a little mini emulator. Like you can play like, where the fuck is it? I don't even know where it's at. I think it's upstairs. You can play like, I don't know exactly how many, but last time I tried it, it was like 20 different types of like old school games that you can play. And you can play against, and your avatar can have like, you know, pretty much any sort of costume that you want to unlock or whatever. Are these the old games? No, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know where they're at. But like, you know, on top of like a story mode, but there's also like an arcade mode, right? So if you just want to play against the computer, you can do that too. So you can play like an arcade story mode, which you just go through, you fight the computer, and like there's high scores, and this is like really reminiscent of like old school Street Fighter, old school fighting games, right? Where you just pick a character, you go through, it starts off easy and then it gets harder, and then you fight like boss characters, and there's like different stuff. What's the difference between Fighting Hub and between Battle Hub and Fighting Ground? So Battle Hub is literally like a virtual world that you go in and you can sit at arcade cabinets, right? And you play against other people and you see their character and their avatar, and they've dressed them up or they made them look like themselves or whatever, or as ridiculous as they want to be. And that character itself, that avatar, has its own moveset. So you can take it into a fighting game and fight other avatars. You can do avatar battles, right? Which is basically a crazy mixture of different elements of all the characters, whatever you want to do, completely custom. So you can basically make your own fighting game character and play it. But, you know, it's not like traditional to the game, right? And Fighting Ground is a bit more of like it's a little bit less like, you know, you don't have that Battle Hub experience, right? And so it's like, okay, if I want to go into and make a room, it's not like a virtual world. It's like, okay, I want to play against Khan, right? And there's other stuff here like the training mode and the character guides, the combo trials, tutorials, and then like let's say I wanted to play someone that was right next to me, I could do like one-on-one, or me and him could fight against multiple computers or something like that. And there's random like modes and stuff like that, right? But then it's like, okay, I want to play against Khan, you know, so I'm gonna make a room, and it's gonna be like it's a lobby, right? And he can join and we play, and we don't have all the like 3D avatar virtual world stuff, and that's basically that's basically how that works. The arcade emulator thing sounds awesome. It is awesome, actually. It is really cool. I haven't put a lot of time into that, but I do know that there is like a lot of random shit that you can buy. So if I go here, sorry, I'm not super good with this new controller here. And there's like battle passes where you unlock all sorts of stuff, and you can unlock colors for characters, and you can unlock like profiles, pictures, and icons and all that stuff, right? Like in each character that you play, like let me see, let me find a character. So this is Elena. So the more that I play her, I unlock all these different titles on the right here, right? So like the next one I have to unlock is like I have to play her more and I get different titles, and this just shows off how much you've mastered the character. And then of course, like League of Legends, there's a whole ranked ladder, and it goes from rookie to bronze, right, to silver to gold to diamond, or to platinum to diamond to master, right? And then there's high master, there's like another master title, I don't remember, ultimate master, and then legend. So it's like just like League, right, where you go up the ladder, and you know, like you can and it's all about like mastering the game, and each character has its own separate rank. So you can be like, oh, I'm gonna go through and master this character. So imagine you played League, and every single character that you played had its own rank, and it's like, oh, I'm diamond on Evelyn, but I'm only gold on Hecarim or something like that, you know? And when you play these characters, you have a chance to unlock not only like specific titles from playing ranked and all that stuff, and profile pages and stuff like that, like you see over here, but also different colors that like people don't have access to unless they've mastered that character and played it, right? And then there's, you know, there's the shop with all sorts of stuff where you can get different soundtracks, different character costumes, and you know, and like some of it is for money and some of it's through just playing the game. I do know Low Tier God. I do know Low Tier God is what is the drama with Low Tier God? I saw something about that on YouTube. So here's an example. Let's see. There's a thing I saw here. Featured items. Yeah, these are like challenge images that are really cool, that like you don't actually have to pay money for, but like you can just earn through playing the game and stuff. I don't remember. Music, you can buy like different soundtracks and stuff for the game. I don't really fuck with that because usually I'll just like kind of play my own music or whatever. But like, you know, if you want, there's a lot to collect in the game. So when you're saying, how can this game justify being $30 right now? I think it does. And the fact that it's a competitive game, you know, like what do you do in League? You just play the different game modes, right? You just play ARAM, or you just play whatever, or you just play like it's like, but most of the time, most people that play League will just go and play ranked games, and that's really like the highlight of this game. Like, well, it has all these fucking different options and stuff that you can do, right? Like the biggest highlight of the game is the ranked mode, and like mastering your character and honing in on getting like really good at it, and that part is like, it's so, I don't know, it's so polished, right? Flash kick combos is probably a weird mental thing I'm in, but I sent you a screenshot and I'm baffled why it's not working. Oh, weird. All right, let's see. Con sent me a picture here. He isn't giving me flash kick. Well, that's weird. I don't know. Okay, let's pull up some music. Pull some Street Fighter music in the background here. I love watching Low Tier God compilations where he gets tilted. Really? Oh, okay. So that's interesting. Well, I don't watch Low Tier God too much, but someone I do watch is like Punk or like Snake Eyes, or like I like watching some of the people. Like there's this guy Chris F, who's very much like a beginner coach kind of guy who's pretty fun to watch. But like when I watch Evo, I love like getting interested in all that stuff, right? Street Fighter 3 music. Let's put on some music, dude. Hopefully before Khan kicks my butt here. Okay. Oh, not working? What the heck? I don't like him. He's a douchebag, but it's funny when he complains about the opponent mashing buttons, but he still loses. Well, Low Tier God, I'm pretty sure is like really good. But, you know, one thing that is pretty specific to fighting games is that it's one of the most like rage-inducing games, honestly, because you have no one else to blame but yourself in a 1v1 kind of game, you know. Like in League, my opponents are my fucking teammates are shit. But in like League, but in the Street Fighter, you know, it's just you. It's 1v1. You know what I mean? It's like the only person that sucks is you, and it's a humbling experience. Oh yeah, he complains about the modern players or what? That's crazy. I mean, you know, generally most pro players don't complain about modern, because modern isn't a cheat code to win. It's just a cheat code to execution. And the thing about modern is that, like, while it is easier to do execution, you actually do, you have it's kind of a nerf in a lot of ways, because, you know, it's an accessibility feature in a lot of ways, right? Because there's advantages to modern. One advantage to modern is like, okay, it only takes one input to do a DP, one input to do a level 3 super, but all of your moves do slightly less damage because of that, like as a balancing feature. And it still has the ability to be competitive, right? So most pro players don't really complain about it too much, because, hold on, I gotta focus on this combo. Oh, I dropped it. Nice. Yeah, he did a flash kick. He was lying to me. Yeah, most pro players don't really complain about modern too much, because, you know, there's disadvantages in the fact that, like, you do less damage. You have less options because of the way that it works. A little lag there. because of the way that it works is you're basically taking 6 buttons and you have to like add in auto combos and stuff. You don't have all of the options that a like classic player would have. So, you know, in a lot of ways it is a little bit of a nerf, but it's really good for a new player. Dang it. Oh no. He's fucking boom looping me. Oh no, Khan. I messed up. Oh, nice DI. I used to watch hours of footage from him hating on V-Trigger. Yeah, I actually didn't play much Street Fighter 5, but you know that's a good that's a good example of how long these games can last, right? Like that game was relevant for a very long time until recently. Street Fighter 2 or Street Fighter 6 came out 2 years ago, and you know, before Street Fighter 6 came out, people were still playing Street Fighter 5 for like 10 years. Dang it. I don't know much about V-Trigger, to be honest. But everybody complains about everything, you know what I mean? Whoops. I messed up.